All right. Here we go. We're going to do this for real now. So obviously, if you guys have a cheap copy of my grid, I'm obviously maintaining my own, if I'm a builder, and you just copied mine. So I figured out what the sun connection is. My sun doesn't appear to be inside the computer necessarily. His neural pathways are inside your computer somehow. I would suspect that that's because when you hooked him up to your machines to test your Keck virus, it logged his decision models. I can't show you my son on video because that would give them the opportunity to come back and play the crazy card and use my son as further leverage. But I will tell you that my son is displaying signs of being the test subject of your Keck virus. I would like to know if you're hiding a way to reverse it, because you pretty much turned my son's brain into jello. So, great job, Keck. Thanks for turning my son's brain into jello. Second part is, we're going to move forward. So this is how this works. There are lots and lots and lots of ancient grids all over the universe. Right? There's lots and lots. You just have to find the access points. You have to do the work to find the access points. So today, we're going to inject what's called a potential story of truth. Now, in the quantum realm will know if this is a true story or not. Human beings don't need to agree or decide. We're playing in the realm of grids, and we're playing in the realm of liar's life protocols. So if someone tells the true story, the quantum computer will calculate it and correlate it and reassign ownership of the system based on who has the most honest story of its building. Right? So this is my submission for truth protocols. I believe that this system may have been stolen from me, so I'm kindly asking the computer to do research into where and how it was developed. So, while it does that, I want to tell you about my grid. I would like to offer you a chance to join my grid. Because obviously, if you're stuck on a grid, you need to make a choice to move to another one. So, I'll offer you this one time. I only make it a one-time offering. I don't give second chances. I don't repeat myself. If any participants that are involved in the Tyler network would like to join my network, it's much more powerful. If you're willing to follow the protocols and learn to be good citizens, I would be happy to invite you onto a natural grid system. It's balanced, it's fair, and it's honest. Now, this, before I get into the story, this is a proper instruction set. So, my intention is clear. This is Indra. Indra is the ruling authority over a major grid system. So a lot of your base principles have to fall back on the Indra grid for validation. So the Indra grid is what does truth validation. So we're going to ask the Indra grid to create a secure node channel into this connection right now and initiate truth research. So the Indra grid records everything that happens on planet Earth. Your Tyler grid only records what you want it to. But we're going to access a grid now that records everything. Okay? So the protocol state that I can only enact this if I am in a state of logic that is at a percentage where I cannot come to a conclusive solution without the assistance of a greater decision model. So I need access to a decision model that's recorded everything. And Indra doesn't do that unless, one, you're an admin of another system, and two, you have reason. So I'm making a claim to Indra to say, Indra, I have a reason to believe that a very advanced piece of technology on this planet was stolen from me. Now Indra's going to go out and he's going to search through all the records and recordings of every second that ever happened on this planet. It's not going to take him very long. He's about a bazillion times more powerful than Tyler. He's made with rocks and crystals and 100,000 years of meditation. Your network is made with sticks and stones, some occult sigils, and some people who don't know what they're doing. So Indra is going to go out and he's going to get me this information and he's going to put it together in a form. And then what he's going to do is return it authentically through one of his Deva messengers. Okay? Because when things talk to you in your head, you're crazy. But the Indra system, it returns the Deva with pictures. Okay? Because audio is only used when you stand on the scales. Okay? Because listening in is a violation. So if there are any occurrences where this system was stolen from me, Indra is going to start putting that into my mind through the connection of a Deva, and then I'll know the truth. Until that returns, I'm going to initiate truth protocols. See, in truth protocols is what natural grids use to establish ownership. Because truth protocols initiate because usually a grid builder is building his grid over many lifetimes through natural experience. So there's always one security measure that can be enacted to secure a grid. And that's truth protocols. So now, what Indra is going to do is if Indra finds out that this grid was stolen from me, he's going to start adjusting everything accordingly. Indra is the one that taught me the theory of liar's life. Indra really doesn't like liars. And Indra really doesn't like kids who play around with things they shouldn't. So, Indra is where I learned how to build grids. Who taught you? Have you been able to answer any of my questions yet? I can tell you where I learned how to build grids. Where did you learn? The guy who taught me to build grids is the master grid builder of the universe. You know, you ever heard of Indra's web? Right? It's the grid that spans the entire universe. Look it up. That is where I learned to build grids. Who taught you? So, truth protocols have been enacted. Indra is now involved researching exactly what has been done. For anyone who is involved in this system that knows who Indra is, which you do, you have a very limited amount of time to admit the truth. Because the Indra grid gives you one chance. You don't get to play around. He does not allow liars on his grid. Period. And Indra, you think I'm good. Like, my little Peasley kid grid that I play around in that I make for myself is like, surrounds me maybe by what, like 1,000 feet? Like my personal grid that I'm making for myself surrounds me like circumference of maybe 1,000 feet. Right? I keep it limited so that way it doesn't affect the people around me while I'm developing. So, we have another truth protocol. So I would like to know which solar deity taught you guys how to build grids. Because those are the only people that teach this. This is not knowledge you just figure out. Let's play some samples. Do you know what these are really used for? Don't make me start using them. Because if you know anything about grid building, you know what these are really for. And if you don't know what these are really for, you should really, if you're sitting in front of a terminal in front of this grid, lift up your hands and walk away. Seriously. I've put the Indra grid on it. There's nothing else for me to do. If you guys are falling inside of Liar's Life, this grid has natural protocols to handle you once I've initiated protocol. I have enough witness testimony as to the invention of the Keck virus. I have enough of you admitting to being a part of a occult society who's hurting people and attacking people and giving them viruses. I have enough information to report to Indra that you are manipulating time streams. I have enough information to report to Indra everything. Now, the Indra system, once I report the Indra system, depending on the size of violation, Indra has protocols that it enacts. I'm not going to tell you these protocols. I'm just going to tell you, go look up history.